the light of the auspicious dawn, and the bustle of life on the happiest and most solemn day, the birthday of a nation. On the 16th of September 1963, Malaysia was born, an independent nation comprising the former Federation of Malaya, Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak. A free and democratic nation of many races of man, long linked by cultural and economic ties. Now 10 million Malaysians are sharing a common destiny and a life of freedom and dignity. The whole country was specially dressed for Malaysia's birthday. In the air was the excitement of a dream becoming reality. The coming of Malaysia has been acclaimed by all freedom-loving nations of the world. To Kuala Lumpur, capital of the nation-to-be, came the distinguished representatives of friendly countries from near and far to take part in the celebrations. For Malaysia has taken shape from the will and sinews of the people. It was not made in secret, but a constitutional development, the child of consent and not coercion. From Asia, Africa, Australasia and the Western Hemisphere came wise men and statesmen to the new cradle of freedom in this part of the world. They came with blessings for the youngest member in the community of nations. On the eve of Malaysia, a farewell ceremony, marking the end of colonialism in Sarawak and Sabah. The Union Jack was lowered for the last time in Sarawak, and the last guard of honor for the departing governor, Sir Alexander Waddell. It was the poignant epilogue of an old period. Sir Alexander Waddell made his exit more than 120 years after the first white Raja came to this country. The people of Sabah has similarly erased the past. The story of foreign domination, which the British traders had started way back in 1878, came to an end. When the last British governor of Sabah, Sir William Good, bade goodbye to the people, the past was severed, but not the bonds of friendship between Malaysia and the United Kingdom, as both countries are members of the Commonwealth. The great day the people have long awaited has come at last. From riverine kampongs and mountain villages, from the farms and the fields throughout Malaysia, many travel long distances to attend the celebrations in the towns. They came together to rejoice in the true spirit of brotherhood and love of freedom. Malaysians thronged the state capitals in their multitude. Malays, Kadazans, Ibans, Chinese, Muruts, Indians, Bajos, Ilanuns. All the roads of joy led to the nation's capital. On the morning of the auspicious day, the Stadium Merdeka throbbed with the pulse of the nation at the moment of birth. The birth of Malaysia, solemnized in a ceremony before thousands of joyous Malaysians, friends from the 5 continents, and the monarch of the new nation. His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Tuanku Said Putra Ibni Almarhum Said Hassan Jamalulil, is the supreme head of Malaysia. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong is a constitutional monarch elected by the Conference of Rulers. His Majesty rules and receives advice from the Parliament and Cabinet. Above everyone, His Majesty is the fountain of justice and the fountain of honor. His Majesty is the supreme commander of the armed forces of the nation. Accompanied by the Prime Minister, the King inspected the impressive parade of 19 detachments drawn from the armed forces, volunteer corps, civic and youth organizations. A display of undivided loyalty of the fighting units and the people. The climax of the inaugural ceremony was the raising of the flag of the new Malaysian nation. The Prime Minister formally handed the flag to Captain Tunku Abdul Rahman, his son, of the Federation Reconnaissance Corps. Before the ceremony of hoisting the national emblem, the Prime Minister of Malaysia addressed the nation for the first time. His voice fraught with emotion, he behoved all Malaysians to take a pledge in the moment of glory.
Dengan nama Allah yang Maha Kuasa, bahawa demi sesungguhnya kita akan pertahankan bendera bangsa dan negara kita itu dengan segala daya upaya kita, sekalipun dengan jiwa dan darah kita. Marilah kita sekalian.
Let us pledge today and at this auspicious moment in the name of God that we will defend the flag of our nation and state with all our strength, even if necessary with our lives. The Prime Minister's message was relayed at the same time through all radio networks to the length and breadth of the Malaysian territories. At this moment, he said, the flag of Malaysia will be flown simultaneously with ours here in this ceremony, at similar ceremonies in Singapore, Sarawak and Sabah, as well as in all the states of the former Federation of Malaya. Then, addressing the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the Prime Minister dutifully requested His Majesty's permission for the ceremony of the raising of the flag to take place. To the noble strains of the national anthem, Negaraku, My Country, the flag of Malaysia was proudly hoisted for the first time for all to see, the symbol of unity for 10 million Malaysians, the sign of sovereignty of the youngest nation in the world. Towards the end of the inaugural ceremony, Che Rosna Binti Akasha, the most gallant girl of 1962, released 101 pigeons, signifying that peace-loving Malaysians have won their freedom. Malaysia has brought independence to Sabah, Sarawak and Singapore. The former Federation of Malaya achieved independence in 1957. Malaysia has come about with the full knowledge and consent of the people. In Jesselton, Dato Mustafa bin Dato Harun and Inche Donald Stevens were sworn in as the Yang di-Pertuan Negara and Chief Minister respectively. Both took the oath to uphold the Sabah Constitution. Inche Donald Stevens, a Kadazan, was president of the Malaysia Solidarity Consultative Committee. Dato Mustafa bin Dato Harun is a well-known leader and philanthropist. The Chief Minister proclaimed Sabah's attainment of independence in Malaysia. the voice of Kedazans, Bajaus, Muruts, Suluks, Kedayans and others in Sabah will henceforth be heard in the Malaysian Parliament. In Kuching, the new governor, Datu Abang Haji Openg bin Abang Sapi, took the oath of office to serve the people in the interest of the nation and according to the principles of justice and democracy. The Chief Minister, Inche Stephen Kalong Ningkan, then read the message of independence. Tuan Haji Muhammad Khair bin Johari, a minister from the central government, read the proclamation of independence to the people of Sarawak, declaring their freedom from all forms of colonialism and their partnership in a sovereign democratic state founded upon liberty and justice. Thousands of citizens were summoned by the beating of ancient drums to attend the proclamation ceremony in Kelantan, and prayers were offered to bless the flag of the new nation. The birthday message was delivered by Dato' Haji Sardon bin Haji Jubir to the people in Kelantan, who are now brothers and sisters of the Malaysian family. The proclamation ceremony was held in all the states of West Malaysia. With the birth of Malaysia, the people have entered a new era in their history. With unity of purpose and faith in themselves, they can make it an era of peace and prosperity. Singapore attained internal self-government in June 1959. The people have now reached the last milestone of self-determination. Reading the historical document, Dr. Ismail bin Dr. Haji Abdul Rahman said Singapore has become an equal member state in the Malaysian nation. A victory for the people of Singapore and the Prime Minister Inche Lee Kuan Yew in their battle for merger. Later in the evening, the young Di-Pertuan Negara Inche Yusof bin Ishak took the salute in the triumphant march past of the military contingents and voluntary organizations. In solemnity and joy, Malaysia was born to be equal of free nations everywhere. A dream has come true in the glow of colors and the radiance of lights at night. No longer is freedom a word, but a fact seen in the faces of Malaysians, heard in their voices and in all their rejoicings, in their tattoo displays, dances and variety shows staged by the various communities of the entire Malaysian family. The moment of happiness is also a time of thanksgiving. In mosques, temples, shrines and churches all over the country, Malaysians bowed themselves in the posture of gratitude and reverence. There is absolute religious freedom in Malaysia. The children's rally in the nation's capital was a testimony of the loyalty of youth to the supreme head of state. A sea of healthy young faces, cheering voices and waving flags greeted the king. The children put on an undaunted display of loyalty despite a heavy downpour, inspired as they were by the presence of their Majesties Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Raja Permaisuri Agong. The future of Malaysia is theirs in the hearts and minds of the young ones. An industrious people, Malaysians of all races are also known for their sporting spirit and sense of humor. All kinds of sports, games and pastimes were thrown into the celebrations. Many took part, to rub shoulders, to stretch their limbs for the fun of it all. From early times, Malaysians have been a nation of traders and seafarers plying the waterways from the Indian Ocean to the limits of the South China Sea. The water has given them a livelihood, and the water is their playground to this day. As part of Malaysia Day celebrations, enthusiastic cyclists set the pace in many parts of the country. But for more speed, There were exciting air shows in the big towns. The accent was still on speed. Maybe small, but the models are quite fast, 100 miles per hour. But of course, the real things are several times faster. On the evening of the 17th of September 1963, a somber sky enhanced the grandeur of the proclamation ceremony. The Stadium Merdeka was once more crowded with Malaysians, representatives from the 14 states of Malaysia, ambassadors, and envoys of friendly countries from all over the world. To the stirring music of the traditional Nobat, the Royal Court Orchestra, the Grand Chamberlain dutifully ushered in the noble procession. His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong, followed by their Highnesses, the Malay rulers in order of precedence, their Excellencies, the Governors of Penang and Malacca, the Yang di-Pertuan Negara of Singapore, the Yang di-Pertua of Sabah, and the Governor of Sarawak. Following behind were the Prime Minister of Malaysia and officers bearing the royal address and the constitutional instrument of Malaysia. An occasion of great solemnity, the proclamation ceremony was the most significant of all, marking the birth of Malaysia, proclaiming the ideals of man everywhere, seeking human dignity, independence and justice, the ideals which have given life to Malaysia. For Malaysia was born from the minds and hearts of men, from the power of the mighty pen and not the sword. After the royal salute, His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong inspected the Guard of Honor mounted by the Royal Malay Regiment. In his royal address, the monarch spoke in a voice almost harsh with emotion, making a fitting tribute to Tunku Abdul Rahman, the father of Malaysia. Under Tunku's inspired leadership, the concept that had overnight caught the imagination of the world became a fact in 27 months. Despite difficulties and stresses, Malaysia was born. Despite hostility from certain quarters, the desire of the people to stand free and equal among nations prevailed. And in the hour of triumph, Malaysia was warmly greeted by the whole committee of freedom-loving nations. The king expressed his congratulations to the Tunku on the success of Malaysia. At this dramatic moment, a fine drizzle came like a sign of blessing from the heavens. 6 years ago, on this same spot, Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj proclaimed the independence of the former Federation of Malaya. Now he proclaims the independence of the family of Malaysians founded upon the principles of liberty, justice and harmony. The father of Malaysia began by offering words of praise to the Almighty God. Then, in words which have gone down into history, the Prime Minister said, "Now, in the name of God the Compassionate, the Merciful, I, Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj Ibni Al-Marhum Sultan Abdul Hamid Halim Shah, Prime Minister of Malaysia, with the concurrence and approval of His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong of the Federation of Malaya, His Excellency the Yang di-Pertuan Negara of Singapore, His Excellency the Yang di-Pertuan Negara of Sabah, and His Excellency the Governor of Sarawak, do hereby declare and proclaim on behalf of the peoples of Malaysia that as from the 16th day of September in the year 1963, corresponding to the 28th day of Rabiul Akhir in the year of the Hijrah 1383, that Malaysia, comprising the states of Pahang, Terengganu, Kedah, Johor, Negeri Sembilan, Kelantan, Selangor, Perak, Perlis, Penang, Malacca, Singapore, Sabah and Sarawak, shall, by the grace of God, the Lord of the universe, forever be an independent and sovereign democratic state founded upon liberty and justice, ever seeking to defend and uphold peace and harmony among its peoples and to perpetuate peace among nations."
Merdeka! 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 Merdeka!
With the vibrant cries of Merdeka and fervent prayers in the hearts of all, with faith in God and singleness of purpose, Malaysians can make their country a happy land of which everyone can be proud. At the Tunku Abdul Rahman Hall in Kuala Lumpur, a buffet party was held, bringing together King and Queen, rulers, governors and heads of states, ministers and civil servants, and guests from overseas in the spirit of fellowship. Outside the Tunku Abdul Rahman Hall, huge crowds of gay holiday makers braved the rain, waiting for the floats procession to pass by. It was the highlight of the celebrations in the national capital. A spectacle of 70 glittering floats, testimonies of joy and loyalty from government departments, commercial firms, and the various communities from all over Malaysia. The glorious procession wended its way for 7 miles through the teeming city, casting its spell on thousands of Malaysians in Kuala Lumpur. In East and West Malaysia, gorgeous float and lantern processions transform the country into an enchanting fairyland. In West Malaysia, the loveliest floats from the 14 states tour the whole length of the peninsula. While Malaysians were rejoicing at home, the world outside responded by pouring in messages of congratulations from sovereigns, presidents and prime ministers of many elder nations. At the new Parliament House, the jubilant host country gave a state banquet in honor of the distinguished guests who had specially come for the celebrations. At the same time, Malaysians gave all their friends from abroad a beautiful bouquet in the form of Malaysian dances. Finally, a toast to the supreme head of Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the toast to His Majesty, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
Malaysia, Malaysia, Malaysia badua negara, negara baru.
In their celebrations, Malaysians have shown the vitality and richness of their multiracial culture. Hence, they go together in happiness or in tribulation, no longer separately. By going together for a life of freedom and dignity, Malaysians have already shown that they are men of faith and goodwill, fearing no opposition and sure of their strength in unity. May Malaysia be an inspiration for peace and harmony to all nations in the world.